How's it going, folks? Welcome to the stream. I see we got some folks out there already. I'm gonna pick a tune. How's it going out there, folks? Man, I love that tune. If y'all don't know that one, that's called the Watson's Blues. I believe Monroe wrote it. If you're familiar with that duo record, that's like a compilation of Monroe and Doc Watson stuff. That's where I stole that one from. I see we got some cool folks out there. Elliot, Nestor, hey folks. Lewis, Johnny, hey Johnny, good to see you out there, buddy. Brent's with us. Old typing hazard back again. Yeah, we got some pronation and supination stuff to talk about out there, I think. Hey there, Carol. Elliot. Yeah, tone poems indeed. Well, I'm going to put the mandolin down. First off tonight, I want to say thank you folks for dealing with my kind of ridiculous schedule over the last couple weeks. Month, really. So the last couple weeks have been really cool. I got to play with Peter Rowan. I guess that would be, what, a week and a half ago. We were working up a bunch of tunes to kind of commemorate the 50th anniversary of Mule Skinner, the project that Rowan did with Clarence White, David Grisman, Bill Keith, and Richard Green. So been kind of focusing on that, and man, it all just came to a head there, you know what I mean? I kind of had to clear schedule and do a bunch of rehearsals that week. We had a 4-hour rehearsal with Peter before the gig, the Thursday before the gig, and it was pretty much, I was telling a bunch of folks, like story time with Peter Rowan, you know, with like a former bluegrass boy and, you know, Grammy award-winning folk artist. It was pretty fun. But anyway, that's kind of what I've been up to and where I've been, and why I haven't been so regular with the stream and stuff lately. But thanks for dealing with that and coming back. It's great to see everyone out there. Good to know that I can be a little random maybe, and you guys will still come back. That's good. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into some meditation here. Nestor says, "What a weekend of bluegrass that was." Indeed. And Nestor, you were sitting in the same space as Lewis Eads out there. I know he was at the show, and Magnus Sederland. The whole gang was there. So I'm sorry we didn't get to see you. But yeah, let's go ahead and do some meditation. I think I could use it today. Gonna cue up the timer here. We'll go for about 5 minutes or so. And just because it's been a while, yeah, let's maybe check in with our mindfulness and, review some things here. I've just noticed. There we go. Sorry, I got to keep the frame clear for you guys. So if you've never done mindfulness meditation before, I like to find a comfortable seated posture. If you're on the floor or something like that, you can fold your legs in like lotus position or just kind of stacked in front of one another. But if you're seated like I am, try and get a little forward on your seat and on top of your sits bones. I try to go for like a 90-degree angle in my knees to the floor. And then kind of pretend that there's a string in the crown of your head, not the top of your head, but the crown right at the back where the spine would be in line with it. And like that's drawing up toward the ceiling. So string drawing toward the ceiling. Get those shoulders back nice and relaxed. I like to put my arms forward, my hands open palm on my knees, but you can also do these little paws that the Buddhists like to do. All right. Here we go, gang. Great to see you. Let's meditate. That felt great. I hope you folks are doing good out there too. You know the drill. Let's go ahead and check in with it. Hopefully you folks have been meditating in the time that we haven't been together. But go ahead and toss a number out there into the chat box. Rate yourself 1 to 10. How did you feel with that meditation today? Like I said, it could still be a challenging meditation, but you could have an 8 if you felt like it was productive, you know? So I'm definitely giving myself an 8 today. Nice. Lewis is at a 6. Becky 7. Makes sense. Those guys are meditators. There we go. Got some more coming into the chat. Nestor at a 7. Brent at a 5.7. I like that. Almost to a 6. Johnny's at an 8. Johnny's feeling great, man. I like that, dude. Congratulations on an 8, Johnny. And to the rest of you guys, 7 and 5.7, man. I feel pretty dang good about those numbers. Yeah, well, there's a one matter of business that's kind of related to this meditation and mindfulness thing while we're talking about it here that I wanted to drop on you folks. So Lewis, actually, out there, I'm going to call him out. Normally, you folks who have been around the stream, Lewis's daughter and her partner Matt run a really great kind of mindfulness lifestyle business where they host retreats and they dive into various topics that intersect with mindfulness, you know, like love or anything like that. And they're actually hosting a retreat. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this link for you while I'm talking here. But I'll be speaking at the retreat, and it's going to be 2 weeks from now. Let me get the specific date for you here. We are looking at March 11th. The retreat's going to run all morning and afternoon from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And I will be speaking, let's see, I will be speaking in the afternoon there, yes, around 1 p.m. So you guys can, yes, at 1 p.m. So if you want, I'm going to toss this link into the chat here in a sec. But would love to see you guys show up to that. The retreat is fee, and actually tonight they're closing down the early bird registration, which is $87 for the full day retreat. So yeah, you definitely don't want to miss this because I'm giving a talk on mindfulness and music and how we can use the act of listening to music to be as an anchor for mindfulness and checking in with our body and our senses throughout the day. So that's kind of going to be the topic of discussion for me. But there are tons of other speakers and a plethora of other topics that are going to be discussed, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, let me grab this link, copy paste, and we'll be good. In the meantime, I want to see who all has been meditating in the weeks that we've been away from one another. So that was actually something I wanted to check in with you folks on specifically tonight. So if you've meditated at least once a week for the last month, put a yes into the chat box, or a no if not. I'm kind of excited to see. Nestor's a yes. Elliot's a yes. Carol, no. Brent, no. Johnny, yes. Nice. That's great, folks. By the way, that link's coming to you in the chat box right now if you're interested in that retreat. That's a high number of folks. That's congratulations to those of you, and no big deal for the rest of you. You know what I mean? I think oftentimes too we'd be surprised what checking in with our mindfulness looks like throughout the day. You know, you don't have to meditate every day to kind of be a mindful person and grow that way. I've been doing a lot of practices. My meditation coach has been talking about like, you know, like off the cushion practices. I think that's kind of what he calls it. You know, like there's the act of meditating, which is like solely dedicated to checking in with our mindfulness, checking in with our body in the moment, the here and now. And then they're like, what do you do the rest of the time? Do you just like not be mindful and hope that the meditation works, right? No. So his deal is like, there are ways that and things that we can use in our daily lives to kind of act as signals for us to maybe check back in. And that's actually the heart of the discussion that I'm going to be giving at the retreat, that I just put into the chat box there. Really, music and anything external, you know, can be a mindfulness anchor. And I really like the way that my meditation coach frames this sometimes too, because oftentimes when we sit down to meditate, you know, like say, you know, if somebody like your neighbor turns on the lawnmower outside or any of this kind of stuff, you know, we have a tendency to get like peeved off, right? And kind of like, oh God, you know, I have to deal with this noise now and I can't meditate, I can't focus. When in fact, you know, my meditation coach is like, that's the perfect opportunity to try and practice mindfulness, because you can use either that sound as a substance. It's a thing that's happening here and now, and it's grounding you in the moment. Yes, it may be a chainsaw or a lawnmower, but you can at least check in with your body in that moment. And this has been something that was really the key for me to kind of be able to move through the stage of like the stages of anger quicker. You know what I mean? And really just like let go of some kind of angry thoughts. It's still work in progress, trust me. But if you can kind of use that thing that would normally be annoying in your daily life as a opportunity to check in with your breathing or with like the tension in your face. That's actually what I check in, because I'm a jaw clencher. It's like, oh, this thing's peeving me off. Check in with the jaw and you're like, yep, okay, that's the thing that happens when I get angry, and now my jaw's going to be locked up and I'm going to have to stretch later. And maybe you can laugh at it, you know what I mean, and just kind of move through it. So that's kind of like Lama Adam's take on some of that stuff. But really, we're going to be honing that discussion in a little more narrowly on the 11th of March to kind of talk specifically about how music can be a tool for mindfulness, and with the caveat that music sometimes that you don't enjoy can be a tool for mindfulness. And I think I mentioned this on the stream once. There was a great study that psychological study that was conducted that tested people to ask them to say some like, what was it? Ask them to make novel observations about styles of music. Nestor may have been the one that told me about this. Maybe he wasn't. But if you were able to make and asked to make observations about a style of music that you didn't enjoy, the moral of the story is that you were essentially more likely to say that you enjoyed that music more after the experience of having reflected on it like that. So if we can kind of take these opportunities in our life to check in with things that we may find distasteful, but like, you know, at least name something in it, like notice something about it and be curious about it, it can actually kind of dissipate and be less of a source of frustration for us, or disgust or anger or whatever the negative feeling is. So that's the bullet point version of my talk. You're gonna have to come back on the 11th for the full thing, but I promise you it's gonna be worth it. Tons of other great speakers. I'm looking at the list right now. We've got 8 speakers in total. Values-centered design. I'm just naming some of the names of the talks. Superhuman breath. That sounds like a good one to me. Spiritual net worth. That's pretty cool. Mine's called Music, Meditation, and the Power of Listening. Meditation rituals for self-care, etc. So lots of good stuff that I think you can probably apply and take into your daily life. Awesome, gang. Well, I've been chatting here for a minute. Not to be too much of an advertisement for this retreat coming up, but I am excited about it. I think we're going to have a good time. And if not, just keep coming back here every couple weeks. We'll keep meditating. We'll keep chatting. It's all good, man. I think I'm going to pick you another tune and then probably mosey on my way. We'll make this a quick one tonight. But if you guys have any questions or anything you want to talk about, toss it out into the chat. Who knows? Maybe you can convince me to stick around a little while longer. I'm going to look through the fiddle tune list here, but if you've got a request, toss it out into the chat box quick. No requests coming in. I like that. No, Brent. I actually did not get to talk to Peter about stuff. No joke. Like, he was almost... I don't want to say... Peter was not unapproachable, but when in his presence... I did very little to steer the direction of the conversation. And I think that was for the better, at least personally for me, because I did, it was cool to hear his stories and just like what he wanted to talk about. But yeah, I wish I had gotten to talk to him about that stuff, to be quite honest. I knew that he was into those things. Well, let's check this one out. I haven't done this in a minute, but maybe I can get it up to speed. Yeah. We'll do 2 rounds through. I was expecting one more. Let's do one more. Come on. Oh, man. That's fun. Little bluegrass breakdown. Well, gang, I think that's where I'm going to end it for tonight. I really appreciate you guys showing up to meditate with me a little bit. And once again, let me toss the link out there into the chat. If you're interested in heading to that virtual online retreat, would love to see you there. Leslie and Matt are really great folks, and they're doing great work in the world, and it's kind of cool to see all of the people that they've brought together to kind of, I don't know, discuss mindfulness and help give us some tools for a better a better life. Thanks again so much for showing up, and happy meditating. Hopefully you can find some time each day to check in with your mindfulness and, be a better, more in the now person. All right, gang. Great to see you. Take it easy.